Have you ever found yourself frozen in the middle of a mundane task, perhaps washing dishes or driving to work, suddenly overwhelmed by a presence that isn't physically there, a warmth spreading through your chest, thoughts that don't quite feel like your own, or emotions that seem to arrive from elsewhere? If so, you might be experiencing one of the most profound and mysterious aspects of the twin flame connection, the ability to feel your twin flame across time, space, and sometimes even across the boundaries of conscious awareness. The question, does my twin flame feel me like I feel her, echoes through countless hearts on this journey. It emerges in the quiet moments of separation, in the depths of longing, and in those inexplicable instances when you sense your twin's presence so vividly it takes your breath away. This question isn't merely about validation or reciprocity. It touches on something much deeper, the fundamental nature of the twin flame connection itself. In this exploration, we'll delve into the multidimensional ways twin flames feel each other, through telepathic bonds, emotional mirroring, and physical sensations. We'll examine the scientific possibilities behind these phenomena, drawing on quantum physics, neuroscience, and ancient wisdom traditions to understand how two seemingly separate beings can remain so profoundly connected across any distance. Most importantly, we'll address the question that brought you here. Yes, your twin flame feels you just as you feel them, though their conscious awareness and interpretation of this connection may differ from yours. Whether you're just beginning to recognize the twin flame connection, or you're deep in the throes of the journey, understanding the reciprocal nature of this bond can bring comfort during separation, validation during doubt, and a deeper appreciation for the profound spiritual purpose behind this extraordinary connection. So let's embark on this exploration together, unraveling the mystery of how and why twin flames feel each other with such remarkable intensity and precision. Well, the telepathic connection between twin flames isn't some sci-fi fantasy or new age wishful thinking. It's a phenomenon reported by individuals who have encountered their soul's mirror reflection. And let's be honest, it can be downright spooky at first. Imagine suddenly hearing thoughts that aren't yours, or feeling emotions that seem to belong to someone else. You might wonder if you're losing your grip on reality. Rest assured, you're not going crazy. You're just experiencing one of the most profound aspects of the twin flame journey. Think of twin flame telepathy as having a private radio frequency that only you two can access. You don't go to your twin's house, knocking at their door until they answer. You don't access their PC to pry into their browsing history. You just check if your twin is online, and if they are there and they are willing to interact, you can share visuals, sounds, feelings, doubts, dreams, wishes, hopes, promises. It's not about invading privacy. It's about sharing a sacred space where souls communicate directly, bypassing the limitations of physical distance and verbal language. The telepathic bond operates through your shared chakra system. Your mind is not capable of accessing the 5D, but your heart is. The heart is strong enough. By opening your heart chakra, you let their energy pass through you. It's less about talking to each other in your heads and more about feeling what they're experiencing. Their joy becomes your joy. Their pain becomes your pain. It's an energetic exchange that transcends conventional understanding of communication. Have you ever had that weird experience where you suddenly taste cigarette smoke when you've never smoked a day in your life? One twin flame reported exactly this phenomenon, only to later discover their twin was indeed a smoker. These seemingly random sensory experiences can actually be powerful evidence of your connection. Your bodies are energetically linked in ways that modern science is only beginning to understand. The beauty, and sometimes the challenge, of this connection is that it often activates spontaneously without your conscious control. One moment you're going about your day, and the next, you're overwhelmed by a feeling that your twin is thinking of you. The telepathic bond isn't limited to waking consciousness either. Dreams become a powerful playground for twin flame communication. In that liminal space between sleeping and waking, when your analytical mind relaxes its grip, the soul-to-soul connection can flourish. You might meet your twin in vivid dreamscapes, having conversations that feel more real than your waking interactions. These aren't just ordinary dreams, they're actual meetings in the astral realm, where distance and time hold no power over your connection. Of course, there's always that nagging doubt. Am I just making this all up? It's natural to question these experiences, especially in a world that prioritizes material evidence over spiritual knowing. The twin flame connection often brings psychic abilities that you never experienced before, awakening dormant parts of yourself that were always there, just waiting for the right energetic key to unlock them. And here's where it gets really interesting. This telepathic connection doesn't require both twins to be consciously aware of it. Often, only one of the twin flames is awakened. The other one is not aware of what's going on. Your twin might be sending you messages without even realizing they're doing so. Their higher self, the part of them that recognizes your shared soul essence, communicates with you even when their 3D consciousness remains unaware. This can feel isolating, like you're the only one experiencing this profound connection. But trust that on some level, they feel it too. The physical manifestations of twin flame telepathy can be particularly striking. Heart palpitations, sudden waves of emotion, tingling sensations, or even phantom touches, these are all ways your twin's energy can affect you across distance. Some people have anxiety symptoms, others have heart palpitations, and for some, it can be very pronounced and clear in certain parts of their bodies. One person shared experiencing dizziness every time they tried to cut ties with their twin flame. A physical reminder that severing this soul connection is, quite literally, impossible. So the next time you feel that inexplicable presence beside you when you're alone, or experience a sudden warmth in your heart chakra, or hear a voice in your mind that sounds suspiciously like your twin, pay attention. These aren't random occurrences or figments of an overactive imagination. They're sacred whispers of a connection that transcends physical reality, reminding you that you are never truly alone, never truly separate from the other half of your soul. And isn't that the most beautiful thing about the twin flame journey? Even in separation, you're connected. Even in silence, you're communicating. Even when the world tells you you're crazy for believing in this connection, your soul knows the truth. The telepathic bond is just one of many reminders that your twin flame feels you just as deeply, just as profoundly as you feel them, perhaps even more than either of you consciously realize. Imagine your emotional system as a radio that's permanently tuned to your twin flame's frequency. You don't just pick up the occasional broadcast. You're receiving their emotional weather reports 24/7, often without realizing the forecast isn't actually your own. It's like having someone else's Spotify playlist randomly shuffle into yours. Hey, I didn't queue up this melancholy jazz at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. But there it is, playing through your emotional speakers, courtesy of your twin flame's current mood. Science behind this phenomenon, if we dare call it science in the conventional sense, involves what mystics and energy workers call the shared emotional body. You and your twin flame don't just share similar emotions. You literally share the same emotional energy field. Think of it as having a joint bank account, but instead of money, you're depositing and withdrawing feelings. And just like with financial accounts, sometimes you check the balance and think, wait, I didn't spend that. Nope, that emotional withdrawal was your twin, feeling things that now register in your emotional ledger. And let's be honest, it can be incredibly disorienting. You might find yourself questioning your mental health or emotional stability. Am I bipolar? Why do I feel like I'm on an emotional roller coaster? You might wonder. The answer might be simpler and more mystical than any psychiatric diagnosis. You're feeling your twin's emotions alongside your own. It's like trying to listen to two different songs simultaneously. Sometimes they harmonize beautifully, and sometimes they create a jarring dissonance that leaves you feeling emotionally seasick. The twin flame emotional connection doesn't politely wait for convenient moments to manifest either. It has an uncanny knack for activating during important meetings, family gatherings, or, my personal favorite, first dates with other people. Nothing quite like trying to make small talk over appetizers while suddenly being flooded with your twin's heartbreak or ecstasy. What makes this emotional mirroring particularly powerful is that it often intensifies during separation phases. When you're physically apart from your twin flame, the emotional connection can actually strengthen. The irony isn't lost on those of us navigating this path. The more you try to disconnect, the more intensely you might feel your twin's emotional state. This phenomenon serves a higher purpose, though. The emotional mirroring between twin flames acts as a spiritual catalyst, bringing unresolved issues to the surface for healing. When you suddenly feel your twin's abandonment issues or trust wounds, it's not just random emotional interference. It's an invitation to address similar patterns within yourself. As the ancient Hermetic principle states, as above, so below, as within, so without. Your twin's emotional landscape is reflecting aspects of your own inner terrain that need attention and healing. It's like the story of a certain woman who kept experiencing sudden anxiety attacks around financial issues despite being financially secure. I couldn't understand why I was having nightmares about being homeless or feeling panic when I checked my bank account, they explain. Then I discovered my twin flame had lost their job and was facing eviction. My anxiety wasn't warning me about my financial situation. It was alerting me to theirs. This kind of experience often leads twin flames to develop a heightened sense of discernment, learning to distinguish between my emotions and their emotions in the shared emotional field. The beauty of this connection, though it might not always feel beautiful when you're in the thick of it, is that it creates opportunities for profound healing that wouldn't be possible otherwise. When you feel your twin's emotional pain, you're being given direct access to their wounds, many of which mirror your own. This isn't voyeuristic or invasive. It's a sacred invitation to hold space for both your healing and theirs. And yes, there's a certain cosmic humor to it all. Just when you think you've got your emotional life sorted out, your twin flame decides to watch a tearjerker movie, and suddenly you're weeping into your dinner without knowing why. Or they have a moment of spiritual ecstasy during meditation, and you're grinning like a fool in the middle of a serious work meeting. It's like emotional photobombing, unexpected, sometimes inconvenient, but ultimately a reminder of the ineffable connection you share. The intensity of this emotional mirroring often serves as confirmation of the twin flame connection itself. Many people report that they've never experienced anything like it in other relationships, not with family, friends, or even other romantic partners. There's a rawness and immediacy to the shared emotional experience that stands apart. Learning to navigate this shared emotional landscape is one of the great challenges and opportunities of the twin flame journey. It requires developing a new kind of emotional intelligence, one that can distinguish between my feelings and their feelings while honoring both. Some twins report success with visualization techniques, imagining a filter or screen that allows them to remain aware of their twins' emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Others find that regular energy clearing practices help maintain healthy boundaries within the shared emotional field. But perhaps the most powerful approach is simply to surrender to the process, recognizing that this emotional mirroring is not a bug in the system, but a feature, an intentional aspect of the twin flame connection designed to accelerate healing and growth for both parties. So the next time you find yourself riding an emotional roller coaster that doesn't seem to match your life circumstances, take a deep breath and remember, your twin flame feels you just as you feel them. The emotions flowing through you are part of a sacred exchange, a divine conversation between souls who recognized each other beyond the veil of ordinary reality. It's not always comfortable, in fact, it rarely is, but it's always purposeful, always leading both of you toward greater wholeness and healing. Let's get real for a second. This stuff sounds completely bonkers if you haven't experienced it firsthand. I mean, phantom touches, spontaneous warmth, tingling chakras. If someone had told me about this before I experienced it myself, I would have smiled politely while mentally filing them under people who also believe their cats can read their minds. And yet, here we are, with many twin flames reporting these physical phenomena with such consistency that it becomes difficult to dismiss them as mere coincidence or imagination. Think of your body as an exquisitely sensitive antenna, constantly receiving signals from your twin flame across what quantum physicists might call non-local reality. Your physical form isn't just flesh and bone, it's also energy, vibration, and consciousness. And at the quantum level, particles that have once been entangled remain connected regardless of distance. As physicist David Bohm put it, in the implicate order, space and time are no longer the dominant factors determining the relationships of dependence or independence of different elements. In plain English, once your energy field has entangled with your twin flames, physical distance becomes irrelevant. Your bodies remain in constant energetic communication, whether your conscious minds are aware of it or not. The heart chakra is particularly active in these physical connections. You might experience sudden warmth, pressure, expansion, or even pain in your chest area when your twin is thinking of you intensely or sending love your way. It's as if your heart chakra serves as the primary receiver for their energy. And honestly, there's something poetically perfect about that, isn't there? The heart, that ancient symbol of love and connection, becoming the physical nexus point for your twin flame's energy to enter your body. The crown chakra often gets in on the action too, with many twins reporting tingling, pressure, or a sensation like gentle electricity at the top of the head when their twin is thinking of them or attempting spiritual communication. It can feel like someone is lightly touching your head, or even like a subtle crown being placed there. This makes sense from an energetic perspective. The crown chakra is our connection point to higher consciousness and divine energy. When your twin flame reaches out to you from that higher level of awareness, the crown chakra activates as the receiving station. And then there are the phantom touches, perhaps the most startling and intimate of the physical sensations. You might feel a distinct caress on your face, a hand holding yours, or arms wrapping around you when there's no one physically present. These sensations can be so vivid and realistic that you might actually turn around, expecting to find someone there. These phantom touches often occur during times of emotional need, as if your twin's higher self is reaching out to comfort you, regardless of the physical separation between you. Temperature changes are another common physical manifestation. You might suddenly feel warm in a cool room or experience cold chills running down your spine. These temperature fluctuations aren't random. They're energetic signatures of your twin's presence. Warmth often indicates love, comfort, or protection being sent your way, while chills might signal important realizations, spiritual downloads, or your twin going through a significant awakening process. Your body becomes a living thermometer for the energetic weather between you and your twin flame. The phenomenon of shared physical pain is perhaps the most challenging aspect of this physical connection. Many twin flames report experiencing pain in the same area of the body where their twin is injured or suffering. This shared pain experience can be particularly confusing if you're not aware of what's happening to your twin. You might find yourself at the doctor's office, undergoing tests for pain, that mysteriously disappears as soon as your twin's condition improves. Learning to discern these physical sensations, to recognize when your body is registering your twin's energy, is both an art and a science. It requires developing a new kind of body awareness, one that can distinguish between your own physical experiences and those that are coming through the twin flame connection. With practice, you'll begin to recognize the unique signature of your twin's energy. There's a distinct quality to it, a resonance that feels different from your own bodily sensations or from energetic exchanges with other people. The physical sensations between twin flames aren't just fascinating curiosities. They serve important purposes in the twin flame journey. They act as a cosmic GPS system, keeping you energetically aware of each other even during periods of physical separation. They provide comfort and reassurance, reminding you that the connection remains intact regardless of external circumstances, and perhaps most importantly, they serve as undeniable evidence of the metaphysical nature of the twin flame bond, challenging materialistic worldviews and opening both twins to a more expansive understanding of reality. And yes, it might make you look a little strange when you suddenly smile at nothing, or touch your heart in the middle of a conversation with someone else. But that's just part of the twin flame package deal. Occasional moments of looking slightly unhinged in exchange for experiencing one of the most profound connections possible in human existence. All things considered, it's not a bad trade-off. The twin flame connection is inherently reciprocal, though the awareness and acknowledgement of this connection may develop at different rates for each twin. If you feel your twin flame deeply, rest assured they feel you too, even if they're not consciously aware of the connection's nature. The energetic bond between twin flames exists beyond conscious recognition, operating at soul level, where separation is an illusion. Rather than focusing on whether your twin feels you, direct your energy toward your own healing and spiritual growth, which automatically strengthens the connection. Trust the divine timing of your journey, and remember that the intensity with which you feel your twin is a reflection of your shared soul essence, eternally connected beyond the limitations of physical reality.